Hello, T-Bago, Chess Bunzo, and potentially other people if they join. Welcome to another stream. I'm going to be trying another different game today while I figure out what works on this stream and what doesn't. If you will give me 1 second here. We have Polybridge. Hello, Chess Bunzo. Yes, this is your first time seeing a Gurchi. I'm not that scary in real life, you'll be relieved to know. So I'll just get the sound sorted on this game. And then we'll get going. So I think that's about the right level of sound. You can hear my mic over the sound. This is a game where you build bridges. And hopefully they stand up. I've skipped the very first level, which is just a tutorial. But the first couple of levels after that are also quite easy. You have a vehicle on one side, you have a flag on the other side, and your goal is to get the vehicle to the flag. The way you do that is constructing a bridge. Once you've constructed the bridge, you get to watch the vehicle drive over it. And there is a leaderboard for how cheap of a bridge you can make whilst it still stands up. And as you can see, I'm quite a long way down that leaderboard, but we won't worry about that too much. This time they don't build half the bridge for you. I've got a slightly bigger gap to cross. So these first few levels are really just getting you into the game, giving you an idea of what it's about, but it quickly gets a bit more interesting. So that's what happens if your bridge isn't strong enough. All we have to do is raise these up a little bit. I think that should be enough. Let's give it another go. There we go, perfect. Because your goal is to build the bridge as cheaply as possible, you want to have it absolutely on the edge of falling apart. Which is not what you want in real life. So this one's a little bit more interesting because they give you this support in the middle. So I'll just try and build 2 bridges on either side of that support. See how that goes. Also speed up this simulation a little bit. There we go. Now we have a bus, which is a little bit heavier than the vehicles we've been carrying so far, so they've given us this steel, which is stronger but more expensive. And I actually think I don't want to do that. I want to make triangles like this. And then probably a bit like that again. Let's see how that does. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we have another. You have egg custards, T-Bago. That sounds delicious. Yeah, don't say egg in front of the Scrabble people. You'll never hear the last of it. Enjoy your egg custards. I wish I could share them, but right, I'm going to cheat and use this line tool to draw the bridge in. And then I need to make use of this support somehow, so let's do that. There, what could possibly go wrong? That's what could possibly go wrong. Let's try making this bit out of steel instead. Much better. Right, this is a bit bigger. We've got to get across to there, then all the way across to there. We've been given steel, but we've got a limited amount of it. Yes, T-Bago, I will be murdering a lot of people in this game. Unfortunately, for some reason, the only way they have of testing the bridges is to drive a car across it and see if it stands up. So, yeah, it's a brutal game, this. I need to support this bridge from this support down here. So I'm going to do something like this. Which may or may not work. And then on this side, that doesn't reach. Something like this. Let's see how that goes. Perfect. So this level introduces a new hazard. If I just build a bridge across here, as you might expect would work, then this will happen. Get to the bit I was trying to show you. Yeah, this level introduces planes that fly into your bridge. So you can see it coming from where this pink outline is, and you have to build the bridge around that, which means it's got to sort of sag down like this. And then it's still got to actually stand up, despite being this slightly odd shape. Don't think I need steel. Let's see if that works. There we go. No, no we don't go. Okay, the second car is heavier than the first one. That's a bit tricksy. I might need to make these bits steel then. No? Oh, it's this bit here. This bit here is a bit flimsy. Let's try that. Much better. Now we have the opposite problem. We don't have a plane, we have a boat. So the bridge needs to be high enough to clear the boat. Can't fit any supports under there, so we'll do that. So this bridge has a little star in the middle. We have to collect that star. So you can't just do the obvious thing of building a road like this, because then you won't get the star. Instead, you have to sort of angle the road like this. Which does make it a bit more tricky. What do I do here? Maybe just this? sort of thing again, but now there's 2 vehicles and it's even bigger. Hello, Few. What are you laughing at? The fact that Bunzo said egg or something else. Does it matter how many struts are used? So in most levels, you don't have a limit on how many, but it all costs money, and you have a budget. And it's usually fairly easy to get within the budget, but then there's also a leaderboard for how cheap you can get it. And so if you want to climb that leaderboard, you have to build the absolute cheapest, most flimsy bridge that barely holds up. In this case, given us these sort of hovering things that can hold the bridge up, which is not particularly realistic. Where do those top supports come from? Yeah, it's it's not the most realistic game, but that's reassuring in a way because yeah, if they actually tested bridges this way, I don't think anyone would ever use one. So you could probably just bridge this gap without using those extra supports, but I think it's cheaper if you do. So I'm going to put some ropes like that. There we go. So that was, I mean, that cost $21,000 in total. When I played through this first world before on my own, I got it for $20,000. But if you look at the top of the leaderboard, there were people who got it for about 7,000 or 8,000. So yeah, you can do it a lot better than this. But for now, I'm just going to play through the levels and try and complete them because some of the later ones get a bit harder. It's like this one is showing you how to make a bridge that's supported by cables. So I think we still need to do something like this, otherwise roads are going to flex and break. And I suspect we need to support the middle of it as well. What is histogram? A histogram is, I think, referring to the graph above the leaderboard, which is quite a useful thing actually. It's this bit here. No, this bit. It shows you how good your solution is relative to everyone else's. So mine is in the top 11% of solutions, which sounds good, but a lot of people don't particularly try to optimize it. They just build a basic one that works, and yeah, people have got it for a lot less than I spent on it. So. Right, this one, we don't have any roads, apart from the ones that are already here. So the car has to jump across, which is terrifying. Our job is to make the jump actually stay up, so that it makes it to the other side. So we kind of need to do something like that. And then it can jump across. So now they want us to build our own jump because they've only given us enough road to get that far across the gap. So we will have to build. where we're going, we don't need roads. Well, yes. Exactly. So I want to sort of smoothly angle this up, I think, like that. That looks like it should make it. Should I get a 4x4? I mean, don't drive on one of these bridges if you do, for your own safety, but by all means, yes. So we're only allowed to use 2 pieces of steel, but we are allowed to use a cable. And they've given us this support here, so if I do something like that, does that work? That does not work, don't do that. Make this bit out of steel instead. No, then that bit breaks. Let's put the cable here. There we go. Yes, this game... Oh! Dragon Girl _89. Thank you for the raid. Yep. Have you finished eco for the day, or are you just ending your stream? Everybody should follow Dragon Girl _89. They're an excellent streamer. Just ending stream? Okay, well enjoy the rest of your eco. Let me give you a shout out. If you like open world survival crafting type of games, then that's usually what Dragon Girl plays. We're just building some bridges at the moment. Right, what do they want us to do here? We've got 5 roads, which is enough to... Right, we don't have to make a jump because they have given us enough road. Need to make something that stands up. And the cars crash into each other in the middle, but that's okay. Apparently. Right, this is a tutorial on how to use hydraulics, which is the next part of the game. Is you can make bridges that do that. They move, which leads to some very complicated levels later on. But that's a fairly simple one. It just opens and closes to let the boat through. And now they want us to do it. They've kind of given us one to copy here. We can make it ourselves. So we need to make 2 halves of the bridge. Have it split apart in the middle and have the 2 sides get pulled up. Looks like it should work. Speed it up again. The level is literally called Don't Copy Me. So somebody tries to copy this bridge, they'll find it's not quite big enough. So we have to build a bridge over this, which looks like some sort of submarine, and it looks like you could just sort of build over the top of it, because you just do that. But this vehicle is a limo, which doesn't have much clearance, so I have a feeling if you try and send it over a road that looks like that, it's not going to work very well. Go underneath view. Yeah, so going underneath the planes is certainly a good strategy, but I don't think that's going to work here. It doesn't even let you build this low down, I think. This is what the go underneath strategy would look like. Oh, they are submarines, yes. Yeah, it actually doesn't even fall in the water because it's got such little ground clearance. Although I am curious if this actually works. If I smooth it out a bit at the top, I feel like this might be possible. If I do something more like that. Because the hydraulic pieces are very expensive, so if you're going for the lowest cost solution, this might actually be better. Assuming it stays up. This middle bit looks a bit dodgy. Yeah, this is what I was afraid would happen. It's itself stuck. I think if we just smooth this out a bit, it might still have a chance. Yes, well, we all saw it coming. There we go. I assume it makes overlap. Yes. So I think that probably is cheaper than using the hydraulics. But yeah, people got it for half again, so I don't know what they did. This, I think, is actually going to be too steep because you have to go like that. So I'm going to have to do actual hydraulics now. So if we just build across like this, obviously we've got to move this part of the bridge out of the way. So we'll start by just supporting the rest of it. That. And I can probably just lift up this whole section. I put a hydraulic here. See how that goes. Does that fit under? No, it does fit under. Yeah, there we go. So you have to make sure you lift it far enough, otherwise the boat will still crash in. This is a much wider gap, but they give you this. You can place a foundation somewhere. Obviously, it makes sense to put it in the middle. But foundations are expensive. It's $22,000 just to put that down. But I still think that's cheaper than trying to do it without it, because... thank you for the lurk, Dragon Girl _89. I don't actually have that command attached to any sort of bot, but we get the idea. Right, this is quite a big gap. I think wood is enough, but we'll see. We do something like this. Doesn't quite reach in the middle. Let's see if that holds up. No. Okay. Well, we have steel available. Just only 4 pieces of it. Let's use those 4 pieces there. No, that still broke. We can raise this up a bit, make it stronger. Still doesn't work. What kind of dollars are we talking? To be honest, this is very cheap for a bridge, no matter what currency you're talking about. Yes, few, bigger arch. It just costs more, that's all. So we'll put some more wood on top of this wood. That should do it. Something like that. Let's see how that goes. It got a bit further. Doesn't like this piece in the middle. Yes. What I'll do is I'll make that piece one of the steels and just use wood over here. See if that's any better. There we go. Got there in the end. This is a much longer one. Again, we get a foundation, which I will put in the middle. We've got to build a double-decker bridge because we've got to get this truck across on the bottom level and these 2 vehicles across on the top level. So we probably want some sort of supports between the 2 levels like this. And probably extra support in the middle. Let's see how that goes to start with. Ah, there we are. So that's the first difficulty level of Polybridge, but there are several more difficulty levels to come. I'll start on the next difficulty. So you don't get tutorials or pre-made bits of bridge this time, you just get a level to work with. Again, we've got this support in the middle. So I think I sort of want to do an arch like that sort of shape, and then the same on the other side. Not sure exactly what to do in this middle bit, but let's do that and see how it goes. Okay, yeah, that works. Right, we've got a hot air balloon to dodge on this one. To make matters even more difficult, these little red squares here, that's where you can build from. That's like the anchor points of the bridge. We haven't got any at either end, so the bridge can't actually attach here. It can only attach in the middle. figure something out. We still want to start by putting a road in the middle. Something like that. Sorry, that following noise might have been a bit loud. Hello, Evac Jim. Thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. You can't build the road through the balloon, unfortunately. Hey there, how are you doing? I'm currently building some rather dubious bridges, and a few here is suggesting I build through the middle of a hot air balloon, which is not going to work. Welcome to the stream. Right, I need to support this thing somehow. Let's just make something up and go with it. Do have this. This is not something I'd recommend in real life, which is relying on a hot air balloon to hold your bridge up. But it does work in this game. So we'll do that. I have a feeling that you can actually rest a support on this rock down here, so we're going to do that for a bit of extra stability. Something like that. Let's see how that does. Oh. Well, that was a good start. We're not getting very far here. I might use some steel here then. It's a lot stronger. Oh, I haven't got anything on this joint now. Hello, Evac Jim. I'm not currently looking for anyone to help me with my graphics. In fact, I don't really have any graphics apart from my start screen, which I made myself. So thank you for the offer, but not at the moment, thank you. Another rope in, maybe. There we go, that worked. This is a tricky one because we've got to get to these stars, so you can't just build in a straight line. We've got to go up to get that one and down to get that one. So the road is going to look something like this. No problem, Evac Jim. Yeah, same to you. Thank you. Right, somehow we've got to support this. And the good news is that we do get another of these foundations, which puts roughly in the middle. And we just got to hold up each side. We'll just start with some wood and see how it goes. Now this is almost certainly not going to work, so don't get your hopes up. Yeah, okay. So we do have steel available. I am tempted to just say make this arch out of steel. It's not the cheapest solution, but it's not the worst either. Something like that. There we go. Okay, this level introduces the idea of restricting where you can actually build. We can only build in this rectangle here, which means we can't do a nice high arch, which would be the obvious solution because there's no space. So we have to keep the arch, we do make an arch, within this area. I think we probably still do want to make an arch. But we'll probably have to make it out of steel. Like that. Can we just make the whole bridge out of steel, or will that be too expensive? It's just about within the budget. And it doesn't work. Okay, yeah. We'll need to put some wood in the middle here. The wood pieces are a lot smaller than the steel pieces. We need to fit them together in a way that makes sense. Turn the grid off, that gives me a bit more an option. To support this, I think. There we go. Okay, I'm sure few will suggest I go through this balloon again, but we do need to go under it. We certainly can't go over it. That was it. Yeah, it was interesting. I'm sure there's very creative ways to make that one cheaper, Debugger. Right, how on earth do I support this? Because we can't hang things off the balloon this time. We have to support it from underneath. So I think we probably want to make another arch, sort of the other way up to the road, and support it off of that. Something like that, except we need to fill in a lot more supports. Could probably get away with that there. Oh, this is taking, well, all the way to the bridge, so I'll make it steel. Okay, so part of the bridge broke, but it still worked. You can see the stresses in red here. So you can still carry on with the campaign, but you get an extra achievement at the end if all of your bridges work without breaking. So we will go back and try and fix that. Let me just adjust the position of this a bit. Now that bit breaks. I'm just going to make that bit steel. There we go. So that time our bridge didn't break, and we get this symbol here. Okay. So here the objectives start to get a bit more tricky because we can build a bridge easily enough for this truck to get across to this flag. But this other car up here needs to get to this flag. So it needs to be up here. And we don't have hydraulics available to move the bridge. So the only way to do that is to make a jump. Then we've got enough roads. The idea is you make something like this and have the green car fall off into its section, but the orange car is faster. That goes at 15 meters per second, that only goes at 3 meters per second. So you arrange things so that the orange car jumps up to its flag. Now that's easier said than done. We sort of need to have, I might just draw this freehand. We need to start off like this and then have a little sort of jump at the end, and then have something for the green car to drive down. So it's going to be this sort of shape. Then we need something underneath to support it. Something like that. I think this piece is probably going to have to be steel to hold it up. So I'll just do that and see where the cars end up. Oh, well, they end up in the water. To make more of this steel, possibly all of it steel. No, only these first two bits. So that comes in there, and that one jumps up there. It doesn't matter if the cars crash after they've crossed your bridge. That's not our problem at that point. So the fact that it it ends the level by doing this, but that's fine. That's not an issue, and nor is this. This is another level that gives us a foundation, but restricts where we can build. So we can only put the foundation here. So I'll put the foundation there. There's also a submarine, although we can't build down there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I think we just want to start with triangles. If in doubt, triangles are usually a good idea. Oops, that's not a triangle. Triangles are not good enough, apparently. So we don't have steel available on this level, so we can't just make it stronger by putting steel in. We can build a second row of triangles on top, which might be enough, and is enough. There is one small problem, which is we went over budget. So now the $sign is greyed out here because we spent $857 too much. So we need to come up with a cheaper way of getting across. I think I can just lower this second bit a bit, make it cheaper. There we go, that's under budget, and it still works. Right, we need to collect these 2 stars in the middle. And if we build to this lower section, then this vehicle would reach its star, but this one wouldn't. We can't just give it a ramp up because the first vehicle would crash into the ramp. So we're going to have to go up to this top level. So we will do that. And then we've got to come down the other side. So we're looking at supporting this somehow. And we do have to... this vehicle, which is heavy. Hello Miggy, how are you doing? Thank you for dropping by and checking out my stream. I am currently building some rather flimsy bridges. Ooh, that doesn't look good. You're playing Baldur's Gate. Ah, well, enjoy that. I think that game is rather popular at the moment. Yes, well... fortunately, it's only pretend engineering, otherwise I think I'd have been fired by now. But yes, thank you for checking out the stream. I will be playing a variety of games, so if this one's not to your liking, come back tomorrow, or Saturday, or Sunday. I'll be playing Palia at some point, so that might be more up your street. This looks dodgy, but it might work. Don't think we need that bit. Yes, thank you for hitting the notification bell. The more the merrier, honestly. Right, let's give that a go. You see, immediately my bridge has collapsed and everyone is drowned, so that's about how well it's going. There we go. It works eventually. Big boat. And no hydraulics available, so we need to go over the boat, which means something like this. That's going to be very steep at the start, so we might need to... but at what cost? About $26,000, T-Burger. But that's okay, because it was under budget. I think we need to sort of start off with a ramp up, and then level off at the top, and then do something similar the other side. Like that. And then we need to have an arch underneath to support it, except it can't be underneath because there's no room. Well, we'll come up with something. I think we want to sort of go like that. And then support these bits. Maybe like that. Fairly sure this will need to be steel, otherwise it'll just break. For the bridge stands up with no car on it, which is a start. As soon as the car drives on it, goes. Okay. We need more steel. Got a bit further, but we need even more steel. I didn't support this middle section very well, actually. So let's just do that. Let's put some more steel in. There we go. Much better. Okay. Big gap. Support in the middle, but there's none of these red attachment points on it, so we can't connect to it. We'll have to just rest something on top of it. I think in order to make that easier, I might go straight across to start with and then angle up. Like that. Probably do more like that, is a bit cleaner. Yeah. Then we need to support this section. One thing we can do in this game is if you just sort of wedge a piece against the side like this, it will hold itself up. Then you can make an arch starting from there. Probably want to make this a bit of a smoother transition as well. There. Okay, let's see how that goes. Not very well. So this broke in the middle. We might be able to make this more of an arch shape. We do something like that. Okay, now that bit works, and that bit does not work. Actually, yeah, we can support this from underneath as well. Okay, this is restricting where we can build again. We can put a road down the middle, but then we have to build above here and below here. So it's almost forcing us to make an arch. The good news is that's what I was doing anyway. So that sort of shape. And something on the end. Something like that. See how that does. Nope. I'll put a steel piece in here. Okay, got further. 2 more steel pieces. And it doesn't like the middle either. Okay. So apart from this side in the middle, is that a washing machine? So yeah, the car is carrying a washing machine on its roof, which does increase the weight. I think the bridge would probably have worked if they hadn't been carrying a washing machine on their roof. It now supports car and washing machine. Okay, this is a big gap. We do get foundations. We might, in fact, need more than one foundation. Because even with a foundation, that's still 40 meters. So I might put down 3 foundations and make 4 20-meter bridges and join them all together. Because that sounds easier. So as long as we get it right once, we can just copy our design to the other 4 sections, other 3 sections even. This is quite a big car. First of all, will it stand up with just triangles? No, it will not. So we need to get this section to stand up, and then if that works, we copy our final design to the other section. I mean, we do have $222,000 available, so we can spend quite a bit on this. I wonder if I just make this steel to work. Okay, that does stand up on its own. So we're going to get rid of these not working sections and replace them with one of these. Oops. Yes, copy and paste is helpful in this game when you're making a bridge of this size. But we did spend $146,000. Now, when I did this one off stream, I managed to get it for $107,000. But that was about half an hour of trying to build it more carefully, and only using 2 foundations instead of 3. And I actually got 44th place for that, but people still got it for much cheaper than that. Yes, getting top leaderboard scores on this game requires a lot of repeatedly running the same bridge with tiny little adjustments, which I decided wasn't quite such good stream material, but I might do it one day. So that truck needs to get to that flag, which it can do like that, but then these ones, this car needs to get to this flag, and this red car needs to get to this red flag. So they're going in opposite directions. But what I can probably do is have them be part of the same bridge. So I do that, and then I have some sort of support between them. And I can also hold it up here in the middle, like that. So I probably want supports like this. And when we did this type of sort of double-decker bridge before, this was all the support we needed. But I suspect that won't work now because it's a lot longer. Yes, it's not quite enough on its own. So this piece here broke. I'm just going to make that piece steel. That's actually enough, so that was easier than I thought. Okay, so we've done one of these worlds here. All for some reason the difficulty level is measured in sheep in this game. So we've done the 1 sheep difficulty, and we've done one of the 2 sheep difficulty. Later on, there's 3 and even 4 sheep difficulties, but For now, we'll do another sheep difficulty. This one is a collection of levels featuring hydraulics. You like sheep, Teabago? That's nice to hear. I won't ask what you do with the sheep. Sorry. So this is just your just sort of basic drawbridge type level, except that they've already built the hydraulics for us. We don't get a choice of where they go. We just have to make a bridge that connects to them. You are Welsh. Well, that's why I'm hesitant to ask just how much you like sheep. Okay, so we've got this very tall, very thin. I'm guessing this is some sort of sailboat, which is, as things stand, is going to pierce through our bridge. But we do kind of need roads here, so we'll make something to lift them out of the way. Although I don't know if here is actually the best place for the hydraulic to be, but we'll go with it for now and see what happens. So this will lift this part of the bridge up, but it might not lift it far enough. Oh, it just about fits. Okay, I shouldn't have doubted it. Okay, this is an interesting arrangement that's sort of pre-built for us here. We actually can't delete these bits. They're not part of our budget. They come ready-made with the level. And what we need to do here is we've got a car on the left going over to the right, and we've got a yellow car on the right going over to the left. But we can't just build a double-decker bridge because we've only got 6 roads. So what we have to do is build the bridge, and then once the car has gone over, we have to move the bridge up. So we are going to need hydraulics in some form. I'm actually going to put the supports underneath. Because I think we need to pull it up quite a long way, which I think means attaching it like this. I don't know if that will be long enough actually. Let's see what happens. It didn't quite lift it far up enough, but the car managed to get over anyway, so that's good. Okay, this is something similar actually. We have this van going over to the right, turning round, and then needing to go down to the left, so we have to pivot the bridge. For once with you, no sus. Well, this is the thing, Teabago. You do have a bit of a reputation, so I'm glad to hear that there was no sus. I think the supports can go up here. If you're good with geometry, which I'm not, you can work out exactly where the hydraulic needs to go and how far it needs to pull. This grey line that I've drawn is where the bridge needs to be when it's finished, which means that the hydraulic needs to move it down this far. And oops, the game will tell you that these two sections are the same length, which means it needs to shrink to half its size, which which it's telling you it will do. So in theory, it should just work. There we go. You might have noticed the joint here flashed bright yellow, which means it's actually locked itself into place. On more complex bridges, you will need to do that, otherwise it will fall apart. So we've now got 2 sailboats, 2 cars, and no room to build a bridge, really. And what the level wants you to do is unfold the bridge into the middle of the river. So it looks like you want to build it vertically like this, and then this hydraulic is going to push to the left. You just need to make sure it's supported. I think that will be good enough. And then they've given us some supports on the other side to build basically the same thing, so I'm going to do that. And see how that goes. The boats come first. And then... Aha! Oh, right, yes. So this is a bit of a tutorial. You have the option in some levels to control which hydraulics move at which times, and make even more complex bridges. In this case, we have to move the bridge on the left independently of the bridge on the right. The game has intentionally set it up badly so that this bridge is in the wrong place and this car drives into the water. So I'll just complete the tutorial to do the right thing. If you've ever played Kerbal Space Program and messed up the staging, it's a similar feeling. So now this bridge doesn't move and the car can drive up. Right, now it's going to want us to do the same thing ourselves. So we need to build a bridge across here that needs to get out of the way of this boat. And we also need to build a bridge on this side that can pivot. The first thing that's going to happen, you can tell what order things happen in, by the way, by these letters. So the thing labelled A happens first, and then the thing happened C, and the thing that happened labelled E. And B, D, and F are hydraulics moving. So this is the order in which things go. Yeah, Kerbal Space Program was famously unoptimized and required a very powerful PC, so yes, you probably didn't have a good time. I didn't have a good time even with a relatively good PC. So this first section is going to be very much like the bridge we just built. We need to do that, and then we need the hydraulic in the middle. On this side, we actually need to bring this truck to the middle, then to here, and then to the middle again. But we need to get it out of the way of the boat first. So I think the best way to do that is going to be to have a drawbridge arrangement. So we have something like that. Right side we can pull it up, but on the left side we'll have to push it because there's nothing to pull off of, which is going to be more expensive because this hydraulic is longer, but that should be alright. So we want this bridge to move at the start, and we want want this bridge to move at the start to get out of the way of the boat. Then we want this bridge to move back for the truck to come across. We don't need it to move again, so we can turn that off. And we don't want this to move twice. We want it to pivot down and then leave itself pivoted down the truck. So I think that's the right configuration, but we'll soon find out if it isn't. Did I leave enough space for the boat? Oh, just barely. That was fortunate. And yes, we got the configuration of the bridges. That's not how bridges work. It's how my bridges work. It's not how they work in real life, and we can all be very grateful for that. Okay, this has got to be a drawbridge. I don't see any other way. So we leave a gap in the middle, and then we add some hydraulics underneath. Yeah. Well, we could try putting a hydraulic here actually, because they've given us this support here, which they might want us to use. It's not quite long enough. I'll add a bit like that. Now, do we need to mess with these controls again? Yes, so the red car goes across and then turns around and comes back again. So the bridge needs to not disappear out from under it while it's doing it. Also, the bridge needs to be strong enough to actually work. That's always a concern as well. Yeah, this design is actually not very good. Right, does it tip far enough? Because this is a big boat. Yes, it does. Yeah, we need to make sure it doesn't move now, because otherwise this car would be in trouble. Okay, this is... What even is this? Oh, it's a blimp. Yes, so there's now a giant blimp taking up... Why it can't just fly higher and leave space for a bridge, I really don't know, but it's decided to fly here. You're not going to question why there's pirates. I mean, to be honest, that's one of the least problematic things about this game. So we need to get under this blimp, but we can't just build a road like that because we've only got 8 roads available, which is exactly how many it takes to fill this gap. So we have to move the bridge out of the way. So, oops. Split it in the middle. I might try something a bit different this time. Which is in the middle here. I'm going to put a hydraulic like this, and I'm going to tell it to expand. And what that should do is lower the whole thing. It's given me a foundation, but I'm hoping I can get away without using it, because that is a lot cheaper. Let's see what that does. Ah, yes, so that's what I was going for. It lowers the bridge down, and it doesn't lower it down far enough, and the blimp still crashes into it. Okay. Well, we didn't quite get there. So it needs to expand more than that. I can probably just put 2 hydraulics in there. Tell them both to expand. Oh, is that? Oh, that does dodge it. Okay. Rather an odd shape, but it works. There we go. It's not strong enough for the car though, which is a small problem. I'll replace these with ropes because the whole thing is under tension, so ropes should work to hold it up. And it works. Okay, this is a long bridge. There is a foundation here pre-placed, which we can get rid of if we want to. It counts towards our budget. This boat looks like it's short enough to just bridge over, but to prevent us from doing that, they've put a star in the middle of it. So we do need to drive the car through where the boat's going to be to collect the star, and then move the bridge out the way, and then put it back again for these two cars to go. Well, they're not cars, they're motorbikes. So we start off with something like this. And to be honest, although it's slightly more expensive, I think it'd be easier to just have this foundation be taller and attached there. This car isn't particularly heavy, so we can probably just build wood across this bit. And then make this section into a drawbridge. So these, we technically only need to move these two roads out of the way. This road can stay where it is because it doesn't quite reach the boat. So we need to place a hydraulic, something like that, so that it pulls this back a long way so that it clears the boat. We don't need a piece there. And then we need to support everything on this side, but we need to make sure it stays supported when the other side is gone. So how do we do that? Something like this. What I might try and do is cheat a little bit and build over the boat. If we make something like this, then it will stay supported even when the boat is coming. Assuming, of course, that this all stands up. Which it might not do. We'll probably need steel over here as well. How that goes. So the bridge moves, it's not quite tipping back far enough. The boat is crashing into it. So that's no good. We can do this which will make it pull back even further. Is that far enough? Just barely. No. Tibago, is my camera working? Because on my screen it seems like I'm frozen in place. I mean, you're not missing much because I am frozen in place staring at the screen. But just wondering if it's working. Oh yeah, it's frozen. Okay. Let me... Right, am I moving again? The webcam likes to play up occasionally. There we go. Yes, as I say, you're not missing much, but half the reason I'm doing streaming is to try and build my confidence a little and get used to being on camera and on mic. So I probably should actually have it working, otherwise that defeats the point. Right, we need to arch this very slightly to get above this vehicle. Not sure what that is. But that's okay, we can still make an arch like this. This might not be heavy enough for what looks like a fairly large vehicle. Oh no, don't worry, Tibago. You are allowed to be distracted from my stream. It's not mandatory viewing, I assure you. So let me first of all just check if this is even strong enough. It isn't, no, okay. Let's make the top bit steel. Okay, left half of the bridge works. The right half is more complicated because there's something going to drive through the middle of it. And this road is pre-placed and we can't move it. So it is hydraulic time. First step is to actually support this section. That. Second step is to somehow move this up out of the way. What we can do, I think, is have a rope down here like that, and a hydraulic like that expands. And I think that will push it up. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Is it? No, it's not high enough. Can I make this longer? Yes. Oops. Okay, that's as long as I can make it. Hopefully that's long enough. It is just barely. Yeah, I think on a real bridge you'd want a bit more clearance than that. So that gets us over. Okay, we have a truck going across with two boats in the way, and also it has to get a star which is all the way down here. And there is a platform here, but we can't really drive the truck onto this platform because it's underwater. I'm not sure why they even built a platform there. So the bridge that we need looks something a bit like this, except flatter in the middle. And it needs to move out the way of these boats. central section can stay where it is, it doesn't need to move. And that might be enough to support it. And then these bits, we need to push up or down or in side to side. That doesn't quite reach. Let's make it so it does reach. Okay, that's as far as it will reach. We want that to extend all the way, and I guess we'll find out if it's far enough. Put some supports on top. No, that was not far enough. Actually, yeah, this. If instead of this steel, we just make the hydraulic be the support. Hydraulics are very strong. They're actually stronger than steel, I think. So you can use them to support the bridge as well. Yes, and then we just need to make sure this middle bit doesn't collapse when it's not there. Yes, again, if you thought the pirates were bad, we've now got Vikings. That's what's approaching us now. We do need to lift these bridges up a bit higher, otherwise it's not going to work. I wonder then if it would be better to lift them from this side. So if I have a rope here and put a hydraulic here, then we could lift them up. It's more expensive, but if it's expensive and works, that's better than if it's cheap and doesn't work. Okay, yeah, that's a lot higher. So if you spend a bit more money, you can get something like this. It does stay up, which is a bonus. Okay, so we have some pre-placed roads, although we can delete them if we want to. And this blue car has to get to the blue flag, and the green car has to get to the green flag, which means they've got to swap round in the middle, which actually means we don't really want a road here at all, because the green car needs to take that path, and the blue car needs to take that path, so there isn't any point having a road here, because nothing's actually going to go that way. I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually build these out a bit. Use the grid as well, so that these start and end at the same place. And I think then this just becomes 2 pivoting bridges like the ones we've already made. We start with these, and then we make the whole thing sort of rotate. Like this. Until it's like that, and then that should do what we want. That's the theory anyway. Oops. I'm going to select, how do I select multiple things? Like that. Copy all that, put it there. And then I want to sort of spin this whole thing round the middle somehow. Let me support these bits. so this middle needs to be well supported. We might just do it with ropes. In which case we don't need that. Does this stand up also? Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't stand up on its own. Okay. We do need to put some steel in the middle. This. Does that stand up? Yes, okay. So now it's just breaking in the middle. Right, yes, sorry. There's two phases to the hydraulics. They move before the blue car goes, and then they move after the blue car before the green car. I don't need to move them before the blue car because I've built it already in the right place for the blue car, so we just need to check if the blue car makes it at all, which it does, and yeah, then it's then we need to move it. So I think we just need to have a hydraulic here pushing up and a hydraulic here pulling down. And we'll see if that even comes. Oh, no, hydraulics don't need to go at the start. See if that even comes close. Hi again, Few, or Jai even. That did not work. Welcome back. Yeah, that did not quite go how I was planning. Let's just see if the left one worked. Oops. Deleted the steel. Jai to you too, Chess Bunzo. Car has to. No, car doesn't have to come back. Few. B only has to go here, and D has to go here. They don't have to come back. Which is just as well. Why is this still breaking? Because that needs to be off. Okay, so that's yeah. This side is not moving anywhere near far enough. I think I'm actually going to have to push it from the middle using something like this. Stop it. What would you like me to stop? The game, because you can always just close the stream if you don't want to watch it. Now the tricky bit is we're going to move this down quite a long way. Does this reach? Yes. Okay. And I have a feeling this central pillar is going to tip over. So I'm going to attach some extra ropes to it to try and prevent that. Well. Oh. Yes. Right. Every time you replace the hydraulics, you have to turn them off because they're not supposed to move at the start. They're supposed to move afterwards. There we go. So, well, it tipped too far, but you can see what I'm going for here. So we need to do slightly less than that. Let's turn that down to 30% and see if that's a better amount. That's still slightly too much. 20%. I don't know why, but that one tickled you, T-Bago. Well, nothing worse than a tickled T-Bago. That middle, we don't actually need this middle piece, I don't think. Easiest way to stop a piece breaking is just to remove it. So that's what we'll do. Okay, that is very nearly there. It's just going slightly too far on this side, so we'll turn that down to 18%. Yeah, it's not locking in here, which it does need to do 17% maybe. There we go. And it didn't lock in this side either. And that was actually slightly too low, so we'll bump that up to 21%. So just a bit of tweaking needed here to get it working. Yes, very close. Oh, and it broke. But yeah, you see what I was going for? The whole thing pivots and then the cars can drive. And we just need to not have this piece break. I'm going to replace that with a rope. Rope's going to stretch a bit more than roads before they break. There we go. So we've completed another of the 2 sheep difficulty worlds. I typically stream for about 2 hours, so we've got another 20 minutes or so. So I will start another of the 2 sheep difficulty levels. I can't promise I'll finish it, but it seems to have gone fairly well this stream, so I'll probably be doing another one of Poly Bridge, in which case I'll continue where I left off. Now, this is the jump world. All the levels here involve not having enough roads to complete it the way you would expect a bridge to be completed, and instead doing something like this. And then trying to make sure it's supported. Can't quite make that of wood, so I won't. And then I'll put some wood on top. Okay, let's watch that jump again. This game has a slow motion feature, which is nice. So close. Very nearly made it. I just need to angle this up very slightly, and I think we'll be good. Okay. No, that actually missed by further somehow. Yes, phew. This is very much a physics-based puzzle game, and physics is winning at the moment. Yes, I'm not jumping the car far enough. I do have 2 more roads, so I might just put another road in and then it will jump even further, and that might be far enough. Or the bridge could break. Okay, it's always a bad sign when steel breaks, because then your bridge is really getting stressed. Let's try that. It broke, it jumped over the star, and it... We'll get there eventually. Okay, that makes it over the jump, but it's too high. It doesn't touch the star, so we need to jump slightly lower. There we go. Got there in the end. Okay. We have a truck. This one looks simple enough. I might do an arch underneath because there's some supports there. This is definitely going to have to be steel, so I'll just make it steel now. Is the bridge game still a bridge game if there's no bridge? That is a good question, T-Bago. I don't have an answer for you. I did put structural engineering in the stream title, not bridge building, so I think it probably still falls under that. Is this even vaguely close? Not really. This bit needs to be steel as well. And so does the middle, it looks like. Okay, I had to use quite a lot of steel on that one, but it's just a very heavy vehicle, obviously. Right, we have 2 motorbikes attempting some sort of daredevil stunt over to this side, and we've got another of these floating mysterious anchor points. So we're going to have to build out a jump, something like that, and then support it from here. And they're not giving us any ropes, so we have to just make the support out of wood. Let's see if that works. Wow, it worked. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, well, that was good. We have a car bouncing across some telephone poles, it looks like. We've only got 10 roads, so we can't just build a bridge across. We need to... I'm going to see... Okay, it's quite fast. Yeah, I think we can get away with not having anything here and have it jump to about here and then catch it and then maybe launch it again and have it land here and then repeat the process on the other side maybe. Yes, Tibago. I am entirely to blame for all successes and failures. Maybe it would. Yeah, just thinking. There's no way this works. Do that and keep an eye on. It's not far off. This needs to be a bit lower so it doesn't collide with it. It probably also needs to be a steel so it doesn't break. And that needs to be a steel so it doesn't break. Okay, it doesn't break now. We just need to get it higher so it reaches this second ledge. There we go. So it gets as far as here. Now we need to put something here to get it up to the flag. So I suspect it doesn't have much momentum left. Yeah, I'm going to have to put something on this first pole this time. Probably about here. Then maybe like that. This will need to be steel in places as well. But we'll start off with wood and see how we go. Okay, yeah, this was always going to be steel. Oh wow, it worked! Okay, that was easier than I thought. Let's just zoom out and watch the whole thing. In slow motion, why not? This is not the sort of stunt I would like to attempt in real life. Okay, we have some sort of aircraft and some rather oddly placed supports. That's, yeah, I think it's probably a no from anyone. I just feel like this is a forklift. It's quite tall, so it's not going to fit under the plane. It's going to go over the plane, which is awkward because the supports are under the plane. So we'll draw a road like that. And then we need to support it using this. So it's going to look something like this. We can't build there, that's in the way. give that a go. Looks nice, whether it works or not. Oh, it's actually... the forklift is actually carrying boxes. Didn't realise that. And it made it safely to the other side. Okay, this is some rather crazy flying on the part of these various vehicles. Well, it's just as well that these are driven by ghosts, T-Bago. Otherwise, we would have murdered quite a few people by now. Right, I've somehow got to get across here while avoiding all of these. The blades of this helicopter in particular are in the way. And we've got this, whatever this is. Monster Flipper is what it's called. And these things all go at the same time, so we need to avoid everything with our bridge. So we're going to have to start from back here in order to get above the blades of the helicopter. Then we're going to have to level out. That might be a bit steep actually. Down like that. In order to get under this drone thingy. Before ramping back up again to get over this. Okay, that seems suitable. And how do we support it? Start like that. Yeah, probably that, and then like an arch over here. It's going to be a steel, and then on this side I suspect this gets in the way of our nice clean arch. We can do that, which isn't too bad. Need to connect it to the bridge. This bit needs to be taller. And I kind of messed up these roads. Let me even them out. That, and then we can go like that. And I'm going to make this steel again. Okay, let's see how far that gets. It doesn't immediately fall down, which is always a good sign. Oh, that's a space shuttle on the right there, of all things. Right, this looks dangerous. This car here needs to get over here, this car here needs to get over here. So they're crossing over again, but there's no hydraulics, and they're both very fast. So I have a feeling they're both going to jump and somehow miss each other in the middle. The modes of transport here are wild, T-Bago. I think pretty much every vehicle you can name is in this game somewhere. So what I think we do is we do a jump here, and we do a jump here, and then we just adjust them until they don't collide in the middle. That's going to look like that, except there's no way it stays up. I might have to turn it into steel later. And same with that. Well, let's see what happens. Now, they do go at slightly different times. Okay, it's more likely they'll miss each other then. Yeah, this is not strong enough. I thought they both went at the same time, but there is a delay, which helps. This needs to jump a lot further because it's nowhere near actually reaching the flag. It needs to not break. that breaks. Okay. That. Okay, it doesn't break. It almost gets to the flag. Does need to go a bit further, but that might get in the way of the other one. Let's find out. Okay, almost made it. See how close we can get it. We're not quite gonna get there, I don't think. Let me actually connect these together so that it's not quite so hard to support them both. Okay, that one still breaks, so we'll give it a steel. And I think we probably want to make this bit a jump. Like we want to have two bits of road connected in the middle. Steel here. This could be wood. Don't need that. See how that does. Okay, it doesn't break, and the green car gets to its flag, so that's progress. I'm gonna make it easier for the white car by just extending this road this way rather than making the jump longer. Support this. Actually, this will be landed on quite heavily, so we'll need steel. I think. That might be enough. Okay, we completed the level, but the bridge still broke, so I will try and fix that. We lost this piece of steel. Let's do that instead. Actually, we don't even need this road because it doesn't land on that one. And then we just need to not have it break. Which is easier said than done. Let's support this differently maybe. Support it from back here. Like that. Now this piece of steel breaks, but we can make this one stronger by doing that. Could be here all day just making this bridge not fair. Let's adjust this so that it jumps a bit flatter. Yeah, see now it's failed. Well, now the green one failed, but it puts less strain on the steel that way. Okay, that was better before. This is what you end up with in this game, is just tweaking things slightly to get them to work. This back to two roads. Maybe they can share the weight. Yes, micro adjustments, unfortunately. It's not too bad in that regard. You don't have to do that to beat most levels. Only if you want a really good speed. There we go. Sharing the weight across two roads is the answer. Just coming up 2 hours. I'm going to do one more level and then I'll probably call it there. This has us not able to build in this square in the middle. So we'd like to just run a road across here, but we can't build in this square. I believe we can drive through this pole, that's not a problem. So we need a road that looks something like that. then we need to support that bridge without building anything here. So the supports will need to be above the bridge. Something like this, but I suspect this won't be strong enough. And we don't have steel on this level, so we can't just replace wood with steel until it works. Oh, or it could just work first time. There we are. What do I know? Right, so we got through 4 worlds and half of a 5th world in 2 hours, which isn't too bad. Obviously, they are the easiest world. I'm going to end the stream there, but I will look for somebody to raid. Let's see who's online. Thank you, T-Bago, for joining me throughout, and to the rest of my viewers for watching. And let's raid into... let's raid Shania, if she has raids enabled. Bye, Chess Bunzo, thank you for dropping by. Shania, I think, is playing Palia, which is another game that I play. Thank you for watching. I will be streaming again tomorrow at the same time, and probably weekend at the same time as that. And I'll be going back to the bunny game, and then probably something new after that. So bye for now.
Gertchie, hello? Emma? How's your stream?